started out with the maybe not the greatest play on the pick six. So you were checking out of that because you saw something. What went on from there?
Yeah, so we just got into a second play. We had BA as my first option on the left. Felt like it wasn't there, so I came backside to Christian, and it's somewhat of a safe play that we had on, and it's really 1-2, and so I just tried getting the ball to Christian, being backed up. Felt like I was in the end zone and wanted to get the ball out. So, looking back at it now, obviously it was in a lot of coverage and stuff. Christian had a bunch of guys around him, so on my end, I didn't put him in the best position, and obviously our team in the best position. So I got to learn from it.
So what kind of goes through your mind there? I mean, your teammates always say you're the same guy. Are you the same guy in your head when something like that happens? The crowd's going crazy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're up by 3 scores, 3 touchdowns, and then we just give them one like that. So now it's a 2-score game. So now it's real, and game is back into play, it felt like, in terms of them being back in the game. So for myself, it's like, all right, got to be smart with the ball, but at the same time, I still got to have that aggressive edge to myself, and not being afraid, to rip stuff in tight windows still and move the ball, get first downs, and score touchdowns. That's where I was at with my mindset moving forward. So obviously it sucked going through it, got to learn from it, but in terms of who I am and playing this position, that can't change, and so that's what I had to keep telling myself.
The touchdown pass was not very long after. Kyle said it was not the throw he thought you were going to make. It was something underneath. You're determined to make that throw? Do you know that thing's going to be open when you're dropping back?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, all right, I messed up and, I got to prove to myself or to my team that I can make a big play to get us back in. It's nothing like that. We had actually ran the ball really well that drive. And so for myself, it was, all right, be smart with the ball, take what the defense gives me. So we sort of had like a rollout, set-up play. And I just went through my progression. I felt the safety came down on the right side just enough for BA to get behind him, and I ripped it. But obviously, looking back on it, there's a guy underneath as a check down that was open too that would have been a big gain and for us to eat the clock up and stuff. But like I said, went through the progression, trusted in BA being there, and just let it rip.
Brock, on Christian's 8-yard touchdown run, it didn't look very promising. I think he was like at the 13-yard line in a bunch of traffic. I mean, what was your view of that, and are you shocked? You're probably not surprised that he did that, but still, how impressive was the fact he got in the end zone?
Yeah, I mean, Christian makes runs like that all the time. I don't know if people really realize it, just the open field and stuff. What looks like isn't much, he just keeps his motor rolling. Guys get behind him and push, or he'll just spin out of something and get a couple extra yards. And then on that play, it's like, all right, yeah, we're going to be down inside whatever the 10. And then he just kept going and fighting and driving. And it's like, yeah, that's Christian McCaffrey, man. He's a dog. And you just never know when he's going to keep going or get out of something. So for him to do that didn't really surprise me. But at the same time, I look up to that kind of stuff. He gives us a spark, man, and an energy to the offense when we need it most. So respect to him.
It's maybe too soon to ask, but what's going through your mind knowing that you're going back to Philadelphia next week?
Yeah, man, we just won on Thanksgiving. We're going to enjoy this one. We're going to, take the next couple of days to recover and clear our minds and whatnot. And when we get to the game plan, we'll get to it, next week. But I'm enjoying it right now. Obviously, it's going to be a big one on the road and stuff. We know that. Everyone knows that. But we're just taking it one day at a time, and we're going to enjoy this one.
How much of the touchdown pass is just having the full faith that Aiyuk is going to get to that spot?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like what we were talking about earlier this week, just him being where he needs to be. And obviously, I wish I could have, hit him more throughout the game and stuff. But when we needed it the most, him being there and, as a receiver, you never know, when that ball's coming your way. And BA did his job, and I got him the ball in the right spot, and he made the rest happen, getting into the end zone. But that's that trust, man. It's the faith in each other, what we do every single day at practice and stuff, and then it's showing on the field. So feels good.
You
This
waited
is
4
your
months
first
out.
Thanksgiving game. What was it like to have that iconic moment of eating the turkey on the field?
Yeah, it was sweet. I mean, just growing up, you're with your family and stuff, watching the NFL games go on. You see the post-game interviews and the turkey legs, and it's just like a good time, watching it with your family. So to be able to be out with my teammates after the game on a win on the road, eating some turkey legs and stuff like that, it was fun. It's going to be something we'll look back on and smile about and whatnot. So very thankful.
Brock, several of your teammates posted on social media, I don't know if you heard or saw, the announcement that you won the Player of the Week award this week. What does that kind of support mean to you? And did you hear about that or see that? Or number one, and then what does that mean to you?
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. You know, Kyle and some of the PR people told me, you know, that I had won it last week and stuff, so it was cool. And then my teammates, you know, having my back and, you know, going through a 3-game stretch like we did and losing, and then coming out and just playing football and winning again. So for them to have my back through all of it, man, it's real. You know, the love is real, and I appreciate every single one of those guys in the locker room, and I want to go to war with them every day. And so to see them, you know, sort of show some love like that after a game was awesome. So love these guys.
After the touchdown, you waited for Brandon on the sideline. It looked like you had a pretty intense moment there. What was that about?
Man, I mean, we had talked, you know, throughout the year and stuff, you know, like after practices and stuff. It's like, man, you know, we have an opportunity to do something real special here, you know, like him and I, Deebo, Christian, George. But I always talk to, like, B.A., like, man, like, time's coming, man. I know you're hungry for it. We could all tell because, you know, he goes balls to the wall, you know, like at practice and meetings. He does everything right. And so, you know, for me to, you know, tell him, you know, week after week, like, it's coming. And then finally we're seeing it. It feels good to know that, man, the work that we put in, the trust, the talks, you know, we're seeing it now. Obviously, we have a long ways to go and stuff, and it's going to be game by game, day by day. But I'm really happy for him. He's a really good receiver, and I think he deserves more credit around the league and stuff. But that time will come.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night. To that, the 8-yard touchdown, your second touchdown of the game. When did things open up for you? Did you think that was going to be, you know, going anywhere at that point when you took the ball?
You know, I think anytime you're running behind this whole line, you just have to have a lot of trust and patience. And they did such a great job all day. The tight ends blocked super well. Juice always blocks well. I mean, these guys work so hard in the run game, receivers blocking. So you just got to trust it and stay on your landmarks, and you never know when the hole can open.
What were the emotions like after that pick six? You got the big lead. Man, the crowd kind of, you know, obviously coming in big after that. What was that kind of moment like?
I just think we had to get back in rhythm. You know, it's stuff like that happens throughout the game. Obviously, you don't want stuff like that to happen. But for us, I don't think we blinked. We just got back at it. You know, there's no panic with our team. There's no panic with any of us. It's just about playing efficient football and not looking at the scoreboard.
I guess nobody has to, like, go check with Brock, do they? I mean,
no,
yeah.
That never has to happen.
What does it mean that he could turn around and make that touchdown throw pretty soon after that?
Yeah, you know, it's a 4-quarter game. That's a really good team. That's a really good team, and you can see it all over the tape. They play hard. They play fast. It's a good defense. And so we knew it was going to be a 4-quarter game. Going into half, we knew it was going to be a four-quarter game, and that was our mindset until it hit zero. You know, we're going to have to play extremely good football, and I think we'll look back at the tape and want some plays back. But I was happy with the way we fought for 4 quarters.
What happened here?
What did you see from that touchdown pass that Brock threw to Brandon?
Ice in his veins. Yeah, no, I mean he's such a good player, man, and he makes plays all over the field. And you know, watching just how consistent he is back in the huddle. He's never too high, never too low. He's consistent, and then constantly, anytime he's got the ball in his hands, there's a play to be made, and he can make it.
What happened to your helmet on there was the touchdown right?
Yeah, the back of it broke, so they had to go in and get a new one. I guess they keep 2 helmets. I didn't know that, and so they were making sure the chin strap fit on the second helmet. So that was the second helmet, while one of them, the EQ guys, came in and was fixing the first helmet. So luckily, I got the first helmet back, and I only had to play 1 drive with the new helmet.
So when they were screwing, was that the first helmet they were screwing in, or that must have been
That was the new helmet they were screwing in so that the chin strap could fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a meme now.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks
Nice. I'll have to check it out.
You're like a robot. You know?
Like Frankenstein. It felt like Frankenstein.
How satisfying was it to eat turkey in the field?
That was awesome. It was actually really good turkey, too. I have no idea how they kept all of the dishes were hot. I was bummed I didn't get the sweet potato with the marshmallows. I don't know if they had a fork, but then we had to pick the turkey leg up. By that time I was eating the turkey. But the turkey was really good, well cooked, wasn't dry at all, and like I said, still hot, which was impressive for being, 20 minutes after the game. I don't know where they kept it, but it was good turkey.
Feel good?
Any green bean casserole, anything else?
No, they had cornbread. They had sweet potato with the marshmallows on top. I forget what you call that. I was eyeing that. I was, like I said before, I was kind of bummed I didn't get to it, but cornbread was good, like still hot, just like the turkey. And then I think they had a couple more on the other side, but I was on the left side of the dish, so I didn't really get to it. But I was happy we got some food after that.
Did one of your teammates chow down more than anybody else?
I don't know. I think everyone was hungry, and that was a satisfying turkey.
I think it's just sweet potato with marshmallows, that's right. I think you called it, that's what you call it.
Yeah, souffle, casserole. I'm not sure. I think there's multiple words for it. It's not a casserole. I was thinking casserole in my head, but I'm like, that's souffle, right? Sweet potato souffle looked really good. So anyway, all right, thanks, guys.
Deebo, it seemed like early in the game a lot of things were open for you, or at least the ball was coming your way a lot. What do you attribute that to?
The way they was playing, and the play calling Kyle was calling, it was just wide open.
But Kyle said, Brandon, on that touchdown pass, he wasn't expecting it to go to you. Were you expecting it to go to you in that moment?
I thought I had a chance to get it. We were in 22 personnel, and I think it was only 2 routes being ran, so I thought I had a chance.
What kind of throw was that from your quarterback?
That was you call a dot.
He waited for you and had a moment with you there on the sideline. Which kind of, what was that exchange about?
Just finishing out the game. We closed it out right there, so talking about that.
Deebo, how well is Brock playing right now?
Oh, he playing at a high level right now, especially for what we do, and what I'm saying, all the plays and stuff we threw at him this week, and just to come out on a short week and play the way he played, it was amazing.
When Nick was just talking about it was tough to have 2 Thursday night games. Now that it's over with, you won them both. Deebo, how tough was it to have these 2 Thursday games?
From a mental standpoint, for focusing meetings and not getting the full speed reps, you got to put in your head and envision, you're in the game, and so put your mind and body in a position to go out there and just make plays.
Do you guys see any difference in Brock after a bad play, like after the pick six? Do you see any difference in him when he takes the field the next time, or even on the sideline after that?
Nah. Nah, Brock's the same all the time.
Anything else? All right, nice.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Throughout 2 of the last 3 games, you guys haven't allowed a touchdown. What's changed for this defense after the bye?
I always talk about, I think, just getting back to playing our style. I guess ever since we got Chase Young, things kind of flipped around, didn't they? But it's a combination of things. I mean, just us playing together as a unit, the rush and the coverage, winning on 3rd down has been crucial for us. You see today, I think they were like 1 for 9 on 3rd down. That's winning football all day long. So we got to keep it going. There's still room for improvement out there. I feel like we really could have snuffed them out, but I'll take what we did.
It seems like you guys had talked all year that the sacks would come eventually at 15 over the last 3 games. What are you seeing from the pass rush right now, where it seems like you've got splitting a lot of sacks, you got a lot of 2 guys. What's working right there right now?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke with the back end. I feel like the back 7. I feel like as long as we are on top of our job in the back, the D line, they're so talented up front, so relentless. As long as we're sticky in our covers, like they're gonna go out there, they're gonna eat every time. So, kind of spending extra time going over the route concept, especially on 3rd down, and working in unison, rushing coverage. I think that's why you see the results.
Can you feel when the pass rush is rolling like it is right now, like as the game is going on?
Absolutely. It speeds up the quarterback's clock, speeds up all of our clock. Especially when we're in zone coverage, playing with eyes on the quarterback, we can break a little quicker.
Fred, speaking of coverage, Mooney was traveling with DK. I don't suppose they're sitting there watching that matchup. But, I mean, can you speak to kind of that matchup and how he's, obviously has a size disadvantage, but hung with him very well?
Yeah, I mean, that's like, back-to-back seasons where we've asked him, a tall ask to follow DK, being one of the biggest, most physical receivers in the game, and seeing him multiple times a year, asking Mooney to go out there and stop him. Every time I look up, the ball's being thrown down the field, and Mooney or Ambry, anybody who's in coverage on them, being in position and in phase to make a play on the football. I mean, that's awesome. We're going to need that all season long.
It wasn't like eating turkey on Seattle's field.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all. That was a moment I'll remember forever.
Is it something you thought about before? Like you'd love to do that someday kind of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, going into this game, I obviously wanted us to win because you don't get to eat turkey if you lose on their field. So.
What's it been like having Deebo in the slot more? He's looked like he's really fit into that position.
It's been awesome. Deebo, one of the best football players we have on this team, in my opinion, doesn't get talked about enough. I think the things that we ask him to do week in and week out, the fact that he's able to play outside corner and nickel, and the humility to even do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's, like I said, one of the best players we have, and I love taking the field with him. He's just got a nose for the football, is physical, can cover really well. He's been doing awesome for us.
Fred, Kyle said he's going to start looking into the Eagles on Monday. Obviously, you're going to take a couple days, but given the future seeding implications of that game, when do you plan to start looking into that one?
Yeah, I think when probably same as our head coach, we'll enjoy this one. But yeah, obviously a big game coming up. Haven't really thought about it because we had to take care of business here, but we'll be ready when that time comes.
A couple more for Fred.
Fred, you weren't here for most of the misery of the Niners in Seattle, but there was a lot. And this was the most lopsided win by the Niners in Seattle since '88, and it kind of came down.
Is that right?
Yeah, just given the history and the rivalry here, is that particularly sweet to do it? Win by 18 here?
I mean, a win against that team, they play us so hard every single time we play them. A win, regardless of the score, I feel like is really big for us, and it's in the division on the road in a big-time situation. I mean, I'm so proud of how our team competed.
You're starting to lose momentum a little bit in the third quarter. I mean, was there a moment on the sideline where you said, okay, let's just kind of stabilize this and do what we can do?
Yeah, no panic at all. I feel like the things that they were getting, it was self-inflicted. You know, we just had to get back to our, playing our technique and fundamentals, make them earn everything. And I think, like I said earlier, winning on third down was crucial for us on defense.
All right, thanks, Brad.
Thanks, guys.
Right now.
Nick, you talked all year. You felt like the sacks were going to come for all you guys, not just yourself. 15 over the last 3 games. What's working so well for the pass rush?
Just execution. Getting back to how we rush. Quarterbacks are holding it a little longer. Our back end's playing awesome. Adding Chase. All those things.
Does it feel like it seems like a lot of the sacks are split? Like, does it feel like you guys are like you guys talk about racing to the quarterback right now? And can you feel that during the game? Like, man, everybody seems to be getting home.
It does, yeah. It's funny. After the game, nobody has any idea what their stats are. So it's a good problem to have.
I mean, when you guys do film review, is there ever any arguing about, I should have gotten that sack instead of the half sack? That's what
as long as it's in the D-line room, we're happy. So if a DB comes in there, we might have some problems.
What do you think of Gibson getting credit for that one sack?
Yeah, we'll see about that one. But, yeah, I mean, it's all good.
With Chase, you guys have lined up in the middle a couple of times and had some real success. What does that do to an opposing offensive line? What does that do for your defensive line, totally going inside and outside with personnel?
Yeah, it makes them think about it throughout the week, prepare for it, and then just kind of putting those guards in a little more space. And we ran a good game today that worked, and it's just mixing it up.
You've heard you don't have eyes in the back of your head, but Mooney was matching up with DK, which is a tall ask, and did really well. I need to speak to that kind of that matchup and him not backing down from a guy like that.
Yeah, I mean, he has no choice, but I think he's done that against all the number ones this year, and we have immense confidence in him. I think he's playing at an all-pro level. I don't know if the stats are there necessarily, but if you watch the tape, he's as good as it gets.
Is is the first time the 49ers have beaten the Seahawks twice in a row on the road in history. How important is it for this team to, you know, kind of put the, you know, whatever ghosts of the past that were there against this team and beat this team for you guys?
I wouldn't say that's the thought process going into it, but we know they play us tough, like Fred just said. Staying focused through 4 quarters is big because in a hostile environment, a 14-point lead doesn't really go a very long way. So we came into the second half with a mentality that we need to put our foot on their throat, and that's what we did.
More for Nick.
Nick, how beneficial is it to have a mini bye coming up in between these 2 particular games?
Huge, yeah. We need it. A lot of guys were battling through today, but that's a good part of a Thursday game. We had 2 Thursdays this year, which is new and really tough for us, but we got it done.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Nick.
Hey, faithful, don't forget to click here to subscribe to our YouTube.